Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of the Shots podcast. We are
Shots
back.
Pod.
Shots Pod, is that what we're calling it? Okay.
I think we're going just Shots Pod,
Shots
yeah.
Pod, okay, that's what the kids are calling it. We're back by popular demand. Well, we're back by Graham's demand. Graham's our boss. He's demanded it, and he's popular. Of course he's popular, with us two at least, because annual reviews are imminent. But here we are. So we're here again. So Shots Podcast, Jamie, why don't you tell everyone what it's about?
Right, so we've obviously no one's done a podcast before, so
No.
this is virgin territory. What we're thinking, the Shots Pod, we're going to have a bi-monthly podcast, and one of the pods will be this. We're going to be calling it an advertising face-off. That's me v you, Danny, talking about a topic each week. Topic to be revealed later on. And then we're going to have an interview podcast called Calling the Shots. I'll be talking a little bit more about that later on. But for now, this is our face-off. But before we face off with each other, like Nicolas Cage and John Travolta, we posted our best of the month last week on the shots.net site.
We did.
And it's absolutely jam-packed with brilliant commercials, music videos and short films.
Yes.
And I wondered, Danny, were there any particular highlights you'd like to...
There was some really good stuff. I mean, obviously, we all had all our ads of the week, which go up, obviously, every week. One of the ones, the Ring magazine one, I really liked. I thought that was brilliant. Fantastic animation, brilliant sort of dramatic story.
That's the name of the director on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote a note.
Well done. Oh, so you're ahead of me. So you like that one too, I'm assuming then. Yeah, so that was great. That was great. I mean, do you know what? I checked the stats. One of the most watch ads from last month was, and this will come as a surprise, Sydney Sweeney's lingerie commercial, which, I mean, I don't know about you, but, you know, I thought that was quite good.
Yeah. Well, so I had Ring as one of my highlights, definitely. I also had another one of our ads of the week, Santa Lucia spot, about a friendship. If you haven't seen it, it's lovely. It's a 4-minute friendship between two slightly older men. I don't know why this particularly resonated with us, Danny. But it's just quite beautiful. And I'm not going to lie, cheeky little tear formed in the corner of my eye.
Feels, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Gets you in the feels. Different feels from Sydney Sweeney's one, but
Pet Bosch did that one.
Yes.
Always brilliant. And also it had like a John Lewis version of a song. I think we can say it's John Lewis. If it's been like slowed down or whatever.
Yeah.
Version of Help by the Beatles that wasn't incredibly annoying. No. Whereas normally those ones can get a little
that was good.
irritating. I'll tell you another one that I really enjoyed. Was the DVLA hero spots, where it's just a very curmudgeonly clamp on a car.
Yeah.
Quite a simple sort of setup, but those were directed by Florence Poppy Deary, who, as well we know, won Shots New Director of the Year at the EMEA Awards at the end of last year. She's just brilliant, isn't she?
Yeah.
Florence is just funny bones.
Yeah.
Just the delivery's brilliant. Really made me laugh. I just think she's just one of those directors that every time something comes through with her name attached to it, I'm probably going to chuckle.
Yeah. She's a rising star for sure.
100%. And another, I want to give a little shout out to my hometown of Croydon, my current hometown of Croydon, Essex boy at heart, but hometown of Croydon. Taylor Swift, I don't know if you knew this, Danny.
I did because you've told me many times.
Taylor Swift shot her music video in the Whitgift Centre in Croydon. Yeah. If you're ever lucky enough to come to Croydon, we have 2 shopping centres, Central and the Whitgift Centre. Yeah. And the Whitgift Centre is so dilapidated that it cosplayed quite easily as an 80s mall for Taylor Swift in her music video. It's big news in Croydon.
The podcast's up for sponsorship. If Croydon wants to sponsor the podcast, then we're open to offers.
So those, I think that's, any other highlights?
No, well, I guess some of the articles, I mean, last month was the producer focus, wasn't it? So that we had some fantastic articles on there about the kind of changing production landscape and some opinion pieces from some very interesting people in the industry. Jess Ringshaw wrote for us about the sort of superpower of production and why production's so important. Kate Taylor from Rogue wrote about the challenges ahead and the sort of challenges that productions face in 2026 and beyond. So all of that was very interesting and informative. And we had Tony Burke, who is a creative and director in the advertising industry, did The Way I See It interview with us. And it is a very powerful and emotional, really, interview with someone who is a recovering alcoholic and talks very candidly and openly and honestly about the journey that he went on and is still going on, and the work that he's done since then, and how he got himself through it, and the people that helped him. And yeah, look, I've been doing this job for a long time, and that is one of the most intense and emotional, honest and impactful articles that I've been a part of, I think.
You talk about journey. I mean, he's a long man, isn't he? He's
very tall, yeah,
6'10" man. But his journey, I mean, as well, you know, I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings. That's an epic journey. Frodo and Samwise's journey is pretty epic. I reckon Tony's up there.
You reckon?
Oh man, he's bounced between, like, goes to a monastery for a bit.
Yes, he does.
Goes to a monastery, bounces around Soho.
Yeah.
Soho to monastery. There's a little bit in between.
Yeah.
That I won't mention on the pod. But no, I thought it was absolutely fascinating.
Yeah,
so well done, Danny.
Yeah, well, I can't really take too much of the credit. I just wrote down the words that he said. But I thank you.
May I ask you what our faces what our faces are all about? What our face-off is about today?
Yes. Okay, so this year, the British Arrows, which is the kind of one of the preeminent advertising award shows and advertising bodies in the industry, in the British industry, is 50 years old. So 50 years of the British Arrows, and there's lots of celebrations going on. There's an event they're having next week, is it? I think, or the week after next, The Art of the Craft, which is going to be brilliant. And obviously they've got the Arrows Award show sort of a week after that, which will be a celebration of the last year's worth of advertising. But what they've done is they've released the 50 ads. Well, I think there's more than 50 actually, but the ads of the year over the last 50 years. So they released those ads and the public could vote on them and it will be announced. I don't think it's been announced already what the number one of those choices are from the public. And so we thought we would take those ads, I think there's like 60 or something
60
altogether.
something, yeah.
760. And do our own top 5.
Yes.
So this was incredibly difficult because last month we did the Super Bowl, there were some great ads in there, but also some duffers. So, you know, it was slightly easier to choose. Basically, this is all gold.
Yeah, the greatest ads of the British advertising
absolutely, over the last 50 years. So this has been quite difficult, and we could have probably made lots of different lists, and they'd all been brilliant. But yeah, we have fine-tuned these lists so we can do our top 5 of the British Arrows best ads of the last 50 years.
Yeah, so this is essentially the concept of the face-off that we're doing each month. We're going to create a list separately that we don't reveal to each other, and then we'll chat about it with each other. And yeah, let's see if there's alignment or not alignment. I'm not going to lie to you, Danny. I kind of gamed the system a little bit with this one because I kind of swerved a little bit ones that I was positive that you would have on your list.
Oh, I see.
Okay. So that is cheating a bit.
Okay.
That's just basically me giving a caveat, an early caveat. If people massively disagree with my list, that is because I thought it would be on.
See, that's the difference between you and me. You thought ahead. You're thoughtful, and it took me into account. I didn't give a monkey's about what you thought.
No, that's our relationship. Thanks for the therapy there.
Yeah, that's all right.
Right, so shall I kick off? You kicked off with the Super Bowl ones. I'll kick off with this one. Okay, so in my 5th position, I have the Channel 4 Paralympics spot. Maybe not the one that you would think I'd have. I've got the Meet the Superhumans spot, which was their first execution. You've got it on your list, haven't you?
Do you know what? I've got it as number 5.
Oh, no way!
Yeah.
Oh, we should have done a 3-2-1.
Yeah.
So I just, there is sort of a common thought that the follow-up spot to this one, which was outstanding, and also I believe won the Arrows. It was one of the year.
It was on the list.
The common conception that one was an evolution of this spot, but there was something about this spot when it dropped just after the Olympics had sort of taken over London. Somehow, what everyone thought was going to be an absolute disaster turned into a sort of joyous celebration of the nation. I think the last time we were happy, maybe the last time we were happy.
Yeah.
And the Olympics stopped. I think that's how it goes, isn't it? The closing ceremony and whatnot all happened, and Channel 4 just dropped this absolute banger. That rather than the Paralympics seeming as sort of second fiddle to the other Olympics games, gave it as thanks for the warm up. I think that was the strapline. Thanks for the warm up, and just showed all of these incredible athletes doing what they do. The music choice, Harder Than You Think, Public Enemy.
Yeah.
Like, so a lot of the choices I've made, I've made not only due to the craft of the work and like the concept behind it, but also the cultural impact. Because a really amazing piece of advertising impacts culture wider than just like shops towers. And this one that year, when I used to go out for New Year's, that Harder Than You Think was the midnight drop,
right?
And that is normally the big tune of the year. That's normally like whatever song has absolutely dominated. Pink Pony Club.
Like it
is an example.
Yeah.
Would be a midnight drop. They went for Harder Than You Think, Public Enemy, at the place I was at. And I just think that is indicative of just how much the public responded to the messaging, and it was just thrilling. I just thought it was thrilling.
Well, I 100% agree. I mean, you put it perfectly. I think that was great. And a lot of this list that I've got is based on feeling over kind of craft, basically. So the craft is generally always good as well, but it's how, not just the kind of social and cultural impact, but the personal impact, I think. And that had a real personal impact. Like just watching it back on the website just gave me those sort of, chills down your spine of like, yeah, I remember that. I remember watching that and how much it impacted me. And you're right. I think, the Paralympics, for me personally at least, probably wasn't something that I was particularly engaged with and particularly, understood until 2012 when that came out. And then now it is just, it's a given that you watch those things, and, it really made a huge impact as a commercial and as a piece of film and a personal sort of, involvement with it.
And Channel 4, well, Full Creative are very good at that. Sort of, there's this like sort of anarchic streak to a lot of their work, and they sort of slap you around the face with it rather than the softly approach that other channels might take. So yeah, terrific.
Brilliant.
Oh, that's easy. Well, we've both done our 5 now.
Well, it'd be annoying if they were all the same all the way through. A bit boring.
Right, so my number 4 then is the body form blood normal spot.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one, like, was impactful, certainly when, we write about advertising, we read the press release and stuff like that comes through. And the releases that come through to us, I think a lot of people would assume that every single piece of work is broken ground in some capacity.
Yeah.
But this one genuinely was a groundbreaking piece of work because it showed period blood as being red. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah, I know.
But period blood is red, as is most blood, I believe, unless you're a Klingon. I think they've got green or something. And I just thought, blood-coloured blood. Blood-coloured blood seems like it shouldn't be a taboo, and yet it was an absolute sort of genre-defining film. And I found out some little fun facts about it. The ASA got a lot of correspondence about it, but they reported that they got more praise than complaints.
Okay.
I just think that it'd be very easy for people to get their knickers in a twist, pun intended, about something that is perfectly natural for so many people. And body form especially, I think people of a certain age, like us, we associate or did associate sanitary towel ads with people roller skating down a beach and body foul.
Wow.
You're welcome. And blue, and just like this blue representation of period blood. And I just thought that this one just cut through so well. And again, it's another one that's had follow-ups that are incredible as well. It was very difficult for me to choose actually between this one and the Kim Gehrig one.
Yeah.
But it was the impact of this one that I think
that's a great choice. I think that's a really good choice. I also think that blood-coloured blood would make a great band name. Just by the by.
Excellent. It doesn't an instrument.
Yeah. So number 4 on. Okay, so mine is, it's a kind of, well, it's not unusual because it is obviously very good, but it's Volkswagen Polo lamppost. So I know, it's a slightly off-centre choice, you might think, but I just think it's really clever and really funny. Very simple. And not only is it a great comedy with a rug pull moment at the end, it's sort of like a mystery as well. Because as you're watching it, I certainly remember watching it for the first time on telly thinking, what are these people doing? What's going on? I don't understand what's happening. And it's only in the last frame when the guy almost walks into the lamppost and looking at the Polo poster on the wall that you're like, So not is it funny, it's that moment of like, I get it. And I just think that's really well done. Kind of compared to a lot of the other ones on the list that are, big and bold and kind of bombastic and, brilliantly crafted and quite dramatic, this one is just kind of quite small but perfectly formed. Like yourself.
Thank you very much. I'm going to get you back for that with one of my choices in a bit. Yeah, no, and funnily enough, watching through the spots as we did to make this decision, it's amazing how slapstick, walking into a lamppost, there may be a couple of choices in mind that involve this as well.
Good.
But it is funny how slapstick can cut through in commercials. And that's a terrific choice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have, if I were to predict your ones,
you
wouldn't have been in it. No, because you don't like polos. No. You don't like mints at all, do you?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Right, okay, so my number 3, we're getting into big guns.
Oh no, yeah.
Big gun territory.
Difficult.
Cadbury's Gorilla.
Okay.
We're talking about iconic.
Yeah.
So this was out in, I think it was like 2008, 2007, 2008. This was, I'd say I was maybe 2 or 3 years into writing about advertising. And yeah, big spots come through and they're normally signposted. We normally find out about them early doors. There's a bit of fanfare involved. Gorilla just seemed to catch me, and I don't know about everyone else, but certainly the public at large, by surprise.
Yeah.
And it was just an incredibly unique idea for a spot. I still don't entirely understand how they sold the idea through to Cadbury's.
Well, it tested really badly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, it tested really badly, apparently. So, people didn't understand it, didn't know what it was for, didn't get the concept. You can argue, well, there isn't really a concept as such. It is just a gorilla drumming.
Yeah.
But, they kind of believed in it and still did it. And
we weren't in the age of AI, obviously, then, but we were in the age of CG and, a lot of sort of creature commercials or things like this could or would have used CG creation. This was a bloke or a woman in a gorilla suit, legit banging those drums.
Yes.
Like it's not even. I'm not a drummer, but I have whacked a drum in my time, and I am a big fan of music. I believe it's known as. And he is playing those drums. He is hitting the right drums at the right time, and it's just touches like that almost you don't, if you're saying I've got a bloke in a gorilla suit hitting the drums, you kind of think, well, the visual's enough.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually need to be doing the drumming, but it's just so brilliant. And the animatronics on the gorilla's face, you feel the sense of like
that
relief
bit when he sort of breathes out from his nose just as before the big drum solo comes in. Yeah,
it's
great.
Just terrific. It was Juan Cabral, I believe, and it was like in Fallon's Hot Street.
Yeah.
And it just blew me away.
That is a brilliant commercial. Fantastic choice. So what are we on? Number 3. So like you say, it's really hard to choose from here because they could kind of go in any order. But number 3 for me, PlayStation Double Life.
Oh, yes, I'm glad that was one of my honourable mentions.
Yeah, okay. So that is an absolute banger. Came out in 2000. Frank Budgeon directed. I remember seeing this ad when it came out and immediately wanting a PlayStation, because it is just so brilliantly put together.
But it never shows a game. It never shows
never shows a game. Yeah, there's no game footage, but the casting is amazing. The kind of unusual characters in it, the delivery of the lines are fantastic. The music is brilliant because it kind of classical, kind of slightly bombastic stuff that really underplays what they're saying, and that the little kids deliver. I mean, he's probably a middle-aged man now. The delivery of conquered worlds. That Scottish sort of brogue.
That kid.
I don't know.
That's an article for the site.
Yeah. But that that delivery again. It's that sort of the moment when the sort of hairs on the back of your neck stand up and that does happen when you watch that advert, and it is just so brilliantly done. And gaming adverts are sort of less impactful, maybe because games are slightly just more part of the culture, whereas back then they were relatively new, consoles were relatively new, and the PlayStation was kind of new, and so it had that much more of an impact. But yeah, I think that ad is absolutely brilliant and love. I can watch it sort of over and over without getting bored.
I think that you pretty much challenge anyone of the age that would have watched that ad to say a line from that from any commercial.
Yeah,
I reckon that Unconquered Worlds would be one of the ones that they come out with.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's a classic.
Right. My number 2, I wanna preface this by saying I'm not jingoistic.
Right.
I'm not a bigot.
Right.
I'm not a Brexiteer, not into all of that.
Okay. I'm now wondering what the ad is. Maybe I missed one.
But yeah, the EDLs. No, I'm Blackcurrant Tango St George.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I think is just one of the most incredible adverts, and I would say potentially the most quintessentially British of the ads I've chosen. I don't know whether out of everything there, but maybe out of the ones I've chosen. So essentially, it is a one-er of a gent, Ray Gardner. I looked this guy up because this actor carries the entire piece. So it's this guy, Ray Gardner, and it's a one-er with him starting in an office, going on a rant about a fella who has complained about the fact he doesn't like Blackcurrant Tango. I think it is Sebastian, yes. Doesn't like Blackcurrant Tango. And the rant continues through the office with people joining him. And then he exits through the door and is somehow a bit like you know how when you recall a dream and then you're sort of talking to someone and then you're like, and then I was on the wing of a plane, and you're like, how did I get on the wing of a plane? Somehow, Ray is now on the White Cliffs of Dover. Yeah. He has stripped to the waist in like boxing garb, jumps in a boxing ring, challenging Sebastian, and I think the nation of France, maybe even Europe. Who knows?
Johnny Foreigner, I think. Is
Johnny Foreigner. This is why I wanted to point out that I am not. It is deliberately OTT.
Yes.
And challenges them to a boxing match. And it's just so visually arresting, and the copywriting is brilliant, and the idea is so audacious, but the craft of it is unbelievable. It still looks incredible. It's still seamless. It's seamless, this transition from an office to the front door of the office, which I don't think is the same continuation of the shot. Then he's on the White Cliffs of Dover. Then he changes into this outfit, and it's all the way through. The dialogue is continuing. There's no like hidden cuts. The camera doesn't like go behind a rock and then emerge or anything like that. I think he does, but like there's nothing like that. And I just think that level of craft to still stand up nowadays, you could air that nowadays, potentially not with the tone, but with the craft that was involved, and it would still be impactful and it would still trick people. So
when the planes come down at the end, the F-14, well, I'm saying F-14s, I don't actually know, I'm not a plane spotter, but they look, jump jets,
there you go.
It looks great. It's a great touch, when they're all facing out to the cliffs of Dover, and great choice. I keep forgetting what number. 2. I'm on number 2, right? Okay, so this is, I keep saying this is where it got difficult, but the 1 and 2 spot here could have been interchangeable, but I have gone number 2, Guinness Surfer.
Oh, I'm glad you did this. Because, well, actually, I won't tell you.
Right, okay, so Guinness Surfer, I mean, most people, lots of people, certainly in the business of advertising, think this is probably the best ad ever made. Obviously not me, because it's number 2, but there we go. But it is fantastic. It is a brilliant film. And so this came out in 1999, and that was the year I started at Shots, which is scary, because that was the previous century. But, so, I knew about advertising. I'd watched adverts up until that point, but I guess this, starting in that role, and then seeing this ad not long after sort of showed me what advertising could be. So I'd seen great ads, and some of the ones we've talked about already, that you kind of saw and thought, yeah, that is really good, and, I love that. But, this showed me that advertising isn't just a punchline or a jingle or a kind of clever little quip. It is filmmaking, because this film just transcends advertising, really. And the music, the beat of that drum, and how it sort of gets your heart going and builds the anticipation, and obviously the horses in the waves, the delivery of that line and the voiceover, it's just all fantastic. And understandably so, this is often sort of cited as the kind of number 1 ad that's ever been made, and I think absolutely brilliant. It's a kind of technical feat, and absolutely one of the greatest commercials that has ever been made. And Jonathan Glazer is rightly held up as a genius.
Yeah, and it is, as you say, just I think in terms of iconic advertising, it doesn't really get that much more iconic, does it? Yeah. No notes.
No notes, thank you.
No notes.
Yeah.
So my number 1, it's Hamlet Cigars photo booth. Now, obviously, tobacco advertising for a long time now hasn't been allowed on TV. And I am not condoning smoking in any way, shape, or form, not even if you're on fire, Danny. But this ad had such an impact, is such an incredible piece of physical comedy, with Gregor Fisher playing his baldy man character. No offense. That's to get you back for the short comment earlier. And it's essentially him trying to take photo booth pictures and failing quite dramatically, and then having a cigar at the end and having a lovely time. But it's the way that this impacted culture growing up. It was referenced in this campaign was referenced in pretty much every sort of comedic setting you could find. If someone were in trouble, then Bark's air on G-string would come in and they'd smoke a cigar and everything would be fine. The character of the baldy man, there was like a TV series with him in it afterwards. I was trying to do some research because apparently it was a naked video character as well. So I don't know whether the character existed prior to the commercial or the character was created for the commercial. I didn't speak to Gregor Fisher about this. No. Probably should have done my
we'll get him on the
research.
pod.
Exactly. It will be on the next pod. But yeah, it's just that sort of perfect comedy spot. There's no dialogue needed. It pretty much hits the funny bone of anyone who watches it. It transcends age. I think it aired for so long, basically until tobacco advertising wasn't allowed anymore. And so that it was my number one.
Yeah, and you're right, because that cultural impact sort of extends to that one as well, because that piece of music kind of came to sort of be associated with kind of failure, right? With kind of sort of grandiose failure. Or
I think that's what Bach was going for, actually.
He could envision the future. Do you know what this might work well in? So, it's a great choice. It's a great choice. So, number one. So it's slightly underwhelming because you've already chosen this one, and I didn't want to say it at the time. Cabaret Gorilla.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so Guinness Surfer and Cabaret Gorilla kind of almost could have been interchangeable, but because of all the stuff you've already said, the kind of surprising nature of it, and just the bravery of taking on something you think, well, this has never really been done before. What has this got to do with Cadbury? I mean, you can argue the same about Guinness, I get, but there is this kind of the best thing comes to those who wait. It kind of resonates, but the Guinness one, the Cadbury one is so out there and such an odd but brilliantly unusual decision to
joy.
make. Yeah,
that's it. It's
exactly.
like literally
that's it. I guess that's it. It is about joy, and that is pure joy. But again, it is that feeling you get when you watch it. I mean, I guess a lot of that heavy lifting is done by the music, because that is a great piece of music, and the sort of anticipation for that drum solo and that drum fill is there anyway. But the way they crafted that, and partly the belief that they had in it, and that the kind of courage to air something that didn't even test particularly well, but they had the kind of belief that it would be a hit, and obviously has been. I just think that is, that's the best one on there for me.
Well, essentially, I mean, none of these are safe bets, are they? Like,
no.
I think that probably is what comes through when you look at the list as a whole. The full sort of 50 years. It's the safe bets don't necessarily cut through in the same way. So that's the face-off done.
Yes.
But we have got another pod coming this month.
Yeah.
And I just want to talk a little weeny bit about that, if that's all right.
I'll let you.
So we have got, we've managed to grab the wonderful Johnny Kelly for an interview. Johnny Kelly, if you're not aware, probably should be aware if you're anything connected with advertising, is an animator, director, live action as well. And just one of the nicest human beings that's ever existed. We often get tarred with the nice brush. I don't know. I think I've mixed so many metaphors there. But compared to like Johnny Kelly, you and I are like Miss Trunchbull. Is that the most evil person I could think of? That was the most evil person I could think of.
Says more about you than anything. Yeah.
Anyway, Johnny Kelly, lovely bloke, incredible animator, won I think every single line available for his Chipotle work back in the day. But more importantly, is nominated, we don't know if he's won yet, but he's nominated for an Oscar for his animated short film.
Yeah.
So I'm catching up with him for a section that we're going to be called Calling the Shots, and it is essentially a run through his life and career, Desert Island Discs style, but not the same as Desert Island Discs BBC.
Yeah.
Where we ask him about certain shots that have impacted his life. And that will be out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a very interesting conversation. Should we also mention what else we're getting up to in the coming weeks and months?
I think we definitely should. Otherwise,
we have got the Shots Out of the Box in Los Angeles upcoming.
Affirmative.
Yes. So we have just announced some of the speakers that we've got there. So Amy Keane, who's spoken at the London one, is talking. Who else have we got? We've got
Lauren Greenfield.
Lauren Greenfield
is
who's
doing
a brilliant photographer, director, who's going to be speaking at the event. We've got Caviar talking about how to sort of navigate from commercial directing to feature film directing. We've got a whole host of people.
And we've got Jodie Hill to that, and Keith Schofield.
Exactly.
Keith Schofield, potentially the director of, he's definitely the director of it, but potentially my favourite music video of all time.
Which is?
I'll reveal that in a later pod.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we'll have a chat with Keith. Put it on the pod. Save it for the pod, mate. This is the pod.
Put it on the pod.
And then we've also got the guys from Gut, the CTOs from Gut LA, talking about the football. Is it football's happening this year?
Football. I know football is your expert subject, but yes. So we'll be talking about how sport can be a dramatic sort of place to take your brand and the stories that it can tell. So we're looking forward to hearing from them. So if you're in Los Angeles, or even if you're not and want to come to Los Angeles, on April the
22nd, Wednesday the 22nd,
downtown at the Bike Shed.
Bike Shed Motor Company.
Bike Shed Motor Company.
And the tickets are available from shots.net.
Yep.
And the day after that is the Shots Awards. Right now, our judges are frantically going through all of the films that have been submitted to that.
Well,
we have our follow-up rounds of judging in the next couple of weeks.
Yep.
And then presenting those awards, and that'll be on the 23rd of April.
Yep.
Again, tickets are available for that.
Yeah.
We probably should say the price. Don't know the price.
Don't know the price.
Don't know the price. More than we could afford.
Be on the website.
But you can.
Yeah, but be on the website. And that's taking place at the Avalon, is it?
I believe so. A new venue, but also in the Los Angeles.
Yes, also in Los Angeles.
So yes, everything we've spoken about is available on shots.net.
Yep.
I definitely want to point out that Shots is an XR publication.
Oh yes, we should definitely point that out, because again, Graham mentioned at the top of this podcast would be upset if we did.
And Ludi, don't talk, it would get cross with us too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's it. Let's. We'll see you in a couple of weeks for the next pod.
Yeah. Thanks everyone. Take care.